In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the lush greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Wednesday episode. This is the one and only Balls and Tees, and you know who's behind the mic. It is the one and only Tony Tone, the magician, the boy with a lot of flair. And man, am I excited to be here. Last week, we had a chat with a couple of individuals, and I believe that the shows were extraordinarily beautiful. But I can promise you something. Today is going to be out of this world. I'm going to blow your brains out, and trust me, listen, you don't need a ice cold glass today. You need a full 20-liter tank that's full of ice. So because today's show is going to be extremely blazing hot. So ladies and gentlemen, let me just explain to you what will be happening for those who have just started following us. This is Balls and Tees, the only relevant podcast when it comes to golf talk, and I have to tell you that we bring in the best of the best when it comes to our guests, and today's guest is on another level. So we will be having a chat with our guest in the next couple of minutes, but before we do so, like I always say, it's time for you to get refreshed because it's about to get hot. So what's going to be happening is that in the next hour or so, you will be mesmerized by the chat that we'll be having, whether you play golf, whether you haven't played golf. I'm telling you, after this, you'd want to grab your clubs and get into the golf course because you will be oomphed up. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Tone, the one and only magician, and I want you to take a 2 minute break and go and grab that ice cold 20-liter bucket because you will need to cool yourself down. So let's go for that 2 minute break. And then when we get back, we will be introducing our guest and we'll do what we have to do, which is talk about golf.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the lush greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying tuned in. As you already know, you are checking into Balls and Tees, the only relevant podcast, and this is your magician, the one and only Tony Tone, a classic man indeed. I hope you have done exactly what I've asked you to do, which is to get the 20-liter ice cold bucket of water because today's show is going to be blazing, blazing, blazing hot. I am joined by someone who doesn't even need introduction when it comes to this auspicious spot. And I am talking about the one and only Mr. Jimmy Headbush. Jimmy, how are you, sir? All right. Whilst we're still waiting for Jimmy to join us, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give you a little bit of context as to say who Jimmy is. So this individual is a pioneer when it comes to the golfing space. I mean, he's been in this industry for the longest of time. He's also the founder of Endaweni Media, which started in 2010. And this individual has been promoting golf significantly, including the PGA Championship in South Africa. So listen, you're going to have a blast and we will learn quite a lot from Mr. Headbush. Let's try to get him again on the line. Hello, Jimmy.
Hi Tony, how are you, man? Sorry for that. Sorry for that. I heard the introduction. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be part of your guest today.
100%. Thank you, Jimmy. And I just want to extend my thanks or my gratitude to everyone around you who's allowed you the time to actually have a chat with us. Jimmy, I tried to introduce you and did a bit of a background, but I don't think I did much justice to your name because I believe that your name should be held up high when it comes to golf. So would you mind reintroducing yourself properly and letting us know exactly who Jimmy is, how Jimmy came into contact with golf, and what's happening in your space?
Just my brief intro, man. I own a business, Royal Fairways. It's a golf promotions business that manages professional tournaments in the country, 3 of them to be specific. I personally have been in the industry for just over 20 years now, since 2002. I was introduced then. I started with charity golf events, management of charity golf events, corporate golf events, mostly in Johannesburg and also other parts of the country, KZN, Western Cape. So I've been in the industry for quite a long time in the event management space, in the customer management space. And recent years, I have since now focused more into the professional golf tournaments, say in the last 8 years or so. Primarily professional golf tournaments. That's the space now I've focused in. I've decided to, take advantage of that space because of the opportunities that were available for the business. So in a nutshell, Royal Fairways is a professional tournament promoter, if I were to describe it. Thank you.
100%, Jimmy, and thank you for thank you for the full introduction. And before we even go further, Jimmy, I just want to ask you, right? And I think this is a question I keep asking everyone to say, okay, you are playing in the golfing industry. You are one of the pioneers. You are one of the drivers of this lovely sport. But I think the key point is to find out what actually fascinated you about golf and roughly when was this?
Tony, I think you use the correct word there. What fascinated? It really got me fascinated when I started in the business as early as I said, 2002. At that time, there were an increasing number of business people, I would say, in the space that I was, that were taking up golf in numbers. I say late 90s, early 2000s, I was surrounded by more and more people taking up the sport, and the number was growing exponentially. And me being in the, just prior to starting the business, being involved, I was in the media space, in the advertising space, and I then identified an opportunity. There could be an opportunity here in organizing events for this growing number of golf enthusiasts, because there was a limited number of event companies that, whether they were black owned or white owned, irrespective, but there was a limited number of companies, event companies that solely focus in the golfing space. And even there, we're one of the very few that only did golf. And the reason being, we wanted to be a specialist in the field, not just, there are companies that specialize in wedding, in parties, in those types of events. So we just wanted to also set ourselves apart within the eventing space to be a golf specialist. So really, as I say, what really fascinated me and got me interested, it was being surrounded by this growing number of golfers, black golfers, there was a lot of black golfers that are black people taking up the sport. And I thought, here's an opportunity. So that's how I got interested in the sport.
Oh, Lovely, lovely. Now, I mean, you mentioned that that there was no specific entity that actually was playing in this field from an events management point of view. Now, I would like to ask you, as a businessman, first and foremost, and secondly, as someone who was sort of relatively new to the sport at that time when you started your entity, or when you started seeing the gap in the market, wasn't it a scary thing for you to actually say, you know what, I am going to get into this space, and obviously there would be some red tapes here and there. Wasn't it a very scary time for you to say, I'm going to take this risk, not knowing exactly what's going to be happening afterwards?
Tony, I won't say I was scary, but I knew from the onset it was a high risk. I mean, it was a high risk because it was a new business venture, something I've never done before, you know. And but I think what really kept me strong or kept me believe was I believe in the opportunity, and I was right, you know, in the initial stages. Accepting it's a high risk. So in the initial stage, it was very tough. I must be honest with you. It was really daunting starting the business, you know, getting it up and running, because there was, as I said, few companies that were doing what I wanted to do, you know. So, but the belief that there is an opportunity. And also, you know, when I started the business, I was also starting also to play as a player, you know, socially. So what also encouraged me, I was friends, business associates that I was playing golf with them socially, you know, on a weekly basis. And I could see how golfers were passionate about the sport. And that really kept me motivated and going, that I believed in what I was doing. But at no time I thought it was an easy task. I knew exactly that it was gonna be tough. It was quite risky, and hence, you know, early in the years there was a lot of up and down. It was more challenging than anything. You know, sometimes I was wondering what did I get myself into? But I just stayed focused and believed in what I was doing.
No, 100%. I like the fact that you actually, like you mentioned now, when you started the business, that's when you actually started playing. Now, from a playing point of view, you know, a lot of people would always say, you know what, a friend of mine got me into the sport. We just went to the driving range and hit a few balls, and then I just got hooked from there. Now, from your side, as someone was looking from the outside and saying, okay, I'm interested in this business, interested in establishing a business in the space. You getting into playing the sport, did you take the traditional route of saying, okay, I'm just going to start hitting balls on my own, or did you from the get-go go for professional lessons?
Johnny, I did it the other way around. I just went on to the golf course. I hacked around the drive range. I did not take the formal professional coaching route, you know. So I took on a lot of bad habits along the way, which I'm still battling with up to today. But you know, I'm one of those who just got hooked and enjoyed what being on the golf course was all about. I think I more enjoyed the social and the interaction with friends and business colleagues, and being out there and hitting the golf ball and being in that environment. And also, as much as it was social, there was a lot of competitive. It's a competitive nature about playing with other golfers. So I really enjoyed that part of the game, and you know, but I didn't, as I said, take the traditional coaching route. You know, even though I picked up coaching lessons along the way, you know, which I advise anyone who wants to take up golf to, you must start with a coach before anything else. Otherwise, you'll get stuck with bad habits. But I'm glad I took up the sport, and I still play socially, but it's not as much as I would love to, you know. But answering your question, I just fumbled and went on the course. That's it.
I like your honesty because, like I said, a lot of us, we just decide, you know what, now it's time that I challenge myself, and we just go into the driving range, miss, dove, hit a few balls, and then we get excited, and then from there, that's when we like, okay, now I'm getting invested into the sport. But I just want to find out. I mean, you are playing in in a very big industry from a business point of view, and having built your business around this huge industry, and obviously you actually working in the professional side of things, how does it feel like constantly coming to engage with these big names in the golfing industry, or should I say, how did it feel when you first started meeting all these big guys in the golfing space, knowing that you only just started playing golf as well? Did you envision yourself being I don't want to say a professional golfer, but being at that caliber as well one day?
You know, when I started with the events, corporate events, and about the business, so I always seen it as a business, serving customers, doing events for customers. You know, so that's really what was my approach. You know, so it was maybe not meeting. It was always respecting the customer all the time. I think even up to today, that's really what that's the focus of the business. At the end of the day, you know, the stakeholders that are involved. So nothing much has changed, because from the onset, I understood that I needed to really respect and focus on what the customer wanted. And it's always the respect of the partners and the customers and other stakeholders that are involved, you know, in the industry, that really kept me going, you know. So the daunting part would have always been making sure that how do I find a way to make sure I deliver on whatever promises that we made to our stakeholders. So that has always been what is driving me, and what I always try to make sure I accomplish, more less so of the profile of the individuals that one was dealing with, but at the end of the day, we had to give respect to anybody or any organization that we dealt with, even up to today, you know. So as the business evolved from corporate to professional tournaments, it's really the ethos that still drives the business, you know, respect of what we need to accomplish for our partners, which is always the core of what we're doing. Even though it changes, you know, when you're dealing with professional golfers or your professional bodies, you know, or like the PGA of South Africa, you always have to make sure we keep their brand, as you know, being associated with such institutions, working with them. At the end of the day, you have to make sure you their credibility is protected through their being associated with them. So that respect for our partners is always be there, and it's very important, because we do deal and work with quite reputable brands and institutions that their brands have got respect are well respected in the golf fraternity. So in what we're doing, we have to make sure we take that into we're cognizant of that.
No, 100%.
I hope.
And I mean, we with what you said. No. I like the way you answered it, because often enough we talk about golf being a sport of integrity, which is a key thing in one's life to actually have. Now, you mentioned respect a lot, to say the one thing that you've always done was to show respect to the players, to the brands that you associate yourself with, to all the partners that are involved in whatever project that you're doing. And that has always kept you afloat. And you've also bear in mind that, you know what, the players as well as the brands that you're dealing with, they've got a particular reputation, and you've always tried to keep that in mind, to say, regardless what happens here, I need to put respect first and make sure that the reputation of my partners is well represented and well preserved. So I really love how you approach the whole thing. But I want to find out from your side, as a business owner, as the man who has taken the steering wheel and decided, you know what, I'm going to drive this thing. Royal Fairways, what challenges have you faced along the way whilst building your brand and making sure that you put yourself out there? What major challenges did you come across, and how did you actually navigate around them?
Yeah, the challenge in the initial stages are massive, because as the business evolve, experience different as you grow, as the business grows, I encounter different challenges, throughout. But it's good to it's fulfilling seeing the business growing. But in the earlier stages, I must say securing clients, getting clients to believe in what to manage their golf events, it was a big challenge, because we're starting out, and most companies that were doing business, were doing golf events, were your corporate, big corporations, so when you start up, it's difficult to break through in that space, so that was really a challenge, which over the years we managed to win. And also the other events that we really got involved with were your fundraising events, your mayoral golf events, department golf events. Those fundraising events were really in the initial stages, dealing with them, inviting companies, getting sponsors, getting revenue. I think it still is a challenge, any fundraising golf event, whoever still does them, it's still a challenge, And then also, your typical, challenge of raising funds, investing in a business, like any other new business then. But fortunately, because it was a small business, it was just myself and an assistant, so my overheads were quite low, so I could get away with the investment in the business then. But getting getting customers was really a big challenge, But over the years, we managed to get customers and clients and clients that believed in us, But as we grew and evolving in the business, getting into the professional space now of managing tournaments, it was a game changer in what we were doing. That we started with the Soweto Golf Cup. I think it was 2023 when we started. When I started partnering with the PGA champion, PGA of South Africa, doing a PGA sanctioned professional tournament in Soweto. That's when I started dabbling in that, and discovered, dealing with professional players, the media, the logistics. Now it involved other stakeholders, which one had to figure out how to manage, and also the revenue, sponsorship. It was also a different space. I mean, we of course can elaborate more in our conversations, but it's just to introduce the challenges one was dealing with, So now with the professional tournament space, of course, the biggest challenge, I'll say, in my opinion, is making sure raising enough sponsorship to pull through a tournament. I think that's one of the biggest challenges one needs to overcome, because any tournament, you need to generate enough revenue to cover the tournament costs, and you have to find brands that believe in what you are doing, that believe in golf, that also believe that they'll yield benefits from a professional tournament. So that's really an ongoing challenge, But once an event is settled, is found life longevity in the calendar, easier. Thank you.
No, 100%. And I have to say, being persistent in what you believe and being optimistic in everything that you believe, I think it has proven itself. And with that being said, I'm a big dreamer, Jimmy, and I believe that you are a big dreamer as well, hence why you started Royal Fairways. So I just want to ask you, if Royal Fairways could host a dream golf event anywhere in the world, which event would you like Royal Fairways to host, and where exactly in the world would you actually like to host this event?
Hey, Tony, I'm smiling here. I don't know whether I'll call it a dream, but it's definitely maybe let's put it as a dream. But I think one would be hosting a fully fledged Sunshine Tour event in Soweto, with a high prize money and even a post-sanctioned European Tour event in Soweto. I think that would be a major accomplishment for me personally and as a business, And I mean, with the Limpopo Championship, we have co-sanctioned it with the European Challenge Tour. But I think having a European co-sanctioned event in Soweto would be a big accomplishment, And then also recently, I must say, I find myself thinking a lot about hosting a live tournament in one of the African countries. Could be South Africa, but any other African country that would have an appetite. But I think that would just now been coming up in my mind. So those two would really be, I think, I don't know whether to call it a dream, but an ambition, a business ambition that have really been coming up a lot in my mind recently.
No, you know what? I have to say this. They are not out of reach because you are in the space, and I believe that they will definitely happen, Jimmy. It's something that you're passionate about. It's something that you've been doing. So it's just a matter of maybe overspreading your wings, and then they shall come. I believe they are coming.
You know, Tony, I'll take that. I'll take that because you know, because as much as one is in business, but
Mm,
it's so wonderful when you see an event unfold uh, in Soweto. You know, seeing an event like
mm,
that in Soweto, I think it sends such a powerful message for South African
mm,
golf industry. I think it sends a powerful message for the international golf professional. Uh, you know, because a European Tour sanction event in Soweto, it will be. I mean, it will really
mm,
change the landscape of golf in our country, or it will contribute to the growth of the
yeah,
sport. So as much as one is in business, I at the end of the day, whatever I would try to involve in, we like to see it making an impact, a bigger impact within the industry, not just the pocket, you know, but what does it say
yeah.
to the industry? What message does it say? You know, what impact does it do? So I think these
Mm,
uh, 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 ambitions that I've just mentioned to you, the two, I think beyond our borders, it will make such a big impact, you know, within the South
mhm,
Africa, the African continent, and the European and
yeah.
international golf, you know, uh, international golf industry. I think those two events will send a powerful message of golf.
Mm,
And
100%. And I mean, I like the fact that you were clarifying to say yes, it might make a difference in the pocket, but the bigger scheme of things is to actually make a difference to the landscape of golf within the country. Because in essence, Soweto is the only township in South Africa that has a golf course, and it has hosted some pro tournaments. So for a tournament of that magnitude to actually come, it ignites the spirits of South Africans to say, listen, guys, anything is possible. We just have to put our minds to it, and we need to all work together to make sure that we promote what we believe and we will reach our goals. So big ups for you viewing things in that way, Jimmy. It requires a person with a very big heart to say, you know what, it's not just about Royal Fairways. It's about the country as a whole. It's about the industry as a whole to say what can we do to shake it up and make it more interesting.
most definitely. Yeah, I mean, you know, the three tournaments that we are part of, you know, there's the Limpopo Championship, the PGA Championship, and the Soweto Golf Cup. You know, I think that's it's what essentially what we try to do with each tournament. You know, the one in Limpopo, the Limpopo Championship, has been running for 6 years now, you know, on the Sunshine Tour calendar. And
Yeah.
it's hosted in a black-owned estate, you know, which is, I think, it's the only Sunshine Tour event that is on such, you know, a black-owned golf course. And it's in a small
Mm,
Dorpen. You know, when that
mhm,
event goes in Mokopong, in Limpopo, it
mm,
takes over that small town, and it makes such a big impact there, you know. And
yeah.
with the PGA Championship, you know, when we got involved 4 years ago, when we got appointed as a co-tournament promoter, our first
Mhm,
decision was the PGA Championship is an iconic event in the country, you know. It's the second oldest tournament in the country. All the years it's been held in Gauteng. And our first thought was, how about taking it out of Gauteng? How about finding a way to be hosted outside? And we managed to find and found partners, and we brought it to, and we taken it to the Eastern Cape, to a small town, St. Francis. And for the last 4 years, it has been the home of the PGA Championship. And for such an iconic event we hosted in such a small town, it just makes, you know, it makes a difference in our industry, you know. And also, I mean, the Soweto Golf Cup, I mean, we've held it there since 2013, but we stopped for a couple of years and we brought back again 2 years ago. We partnered with the PGA of South Africa. And though it's not a Sunshine Tour sanctioned, it's a PGA Tour sanctioned event, to host such an event, the 3-day tournament event, it makes a big impact to the golf course, bring diverse players that will never have been part of that event, you know. So for us, we are proud of the events that we're involved with, making an impact in the industry. You know, that is very important for us.
100%. Jimmy, we've hit our halfway mark for the show today. Can we just take a recess for about 2 to 3 minutes? Let's get some refreshments, and then when we get back, we will delve into more light-hearted matters, more fun questions, and then we would like to know Jimmy as a golfer as well. So when we get back after the break, we will just delve into that, and then we can have a time of our lives.
Okay, that's fine. Let's take a break. I'll mute my mic, and I'll be on standby.
Thank you so much, sir.
Invisible Ink Consulting, your gateway to financial success. We specialize in providing the best solutions to manage your finance and accounting, ensuring a better life for you and your business. Our expert team offers top-notch accounting and tax consulting services tailored to various industries, including but not limited to engineering, medical practitioners, in construction, non-profits, events management, attorneys and financial services. Experience the power of our best analytics, backed by a commitment to our clients and a high level of knowledge. At Invisible Ink Consulting, we strive to deliver the best service you can get, making your financial journey seamless and rewarding. Choose Invisible Ink Consulting for a brighter financial future. Your success our priority. Please visit us at www.invisibleinc.co.za to reach us. www.invisibleinc.co.za.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the lush greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another beautiful second half of the one and only Balls and Tees. I am Tony Tone, the magician. If you've just joined us now, I have to say you missed out on a lot of information. Had you joined earlier, you would have understood exactly why I keep requesting people to get ice cold bucket of water, because it is extremely hot up in here. So ladies and gentlemen, let me not waste much of your time, and let me bring back our beloved guest, Mr. Jimmy Headbush. Jimmy, are you still with us there?
Tony, I'm here. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Jimmy, like I said, I mean, we had a beautiful discussion and it revolved more around the golfing industry, the golfing business within the industry. And you know what? I really, really like your philosophy in business to say that respect is the most important thing for you, as you know that it will solidify relationships. It will make sure that everyone is on the same page. Everyone gets exactly what they want out of that partnership. So we are now in our second half, and like I said, I want it to be lighthearted. We want to know Jimmy as a golfer, not Jimmy as a businessman. So I hope you are ready for the questions that I have. They're not hectic, they're very simple, straight to the core.
Okay, let's have some fun. Hey, my golf. Okay, let's go for it.
All right. So like I said, it's nothing hectic. It's just to try to get to understand exactly what's happening in with your game. Obviously, you can't play as much as what other people would like or would deem you to play because you still have a business to run, right? Now, you mentioned that there's still certain bad habits that you still have from back when you started playing golf. With that in mind, I want to understand currently which aspect of your game do you think still needs a bit of improving or a bit of work? Which particular aspect of your game do you think needs to be worked on?
Tony, man, my short game is a disaster. You know, I will the minute I get 120 meters and less, I am in trouble. But I drive my drive off the
Is
tee
it because you're a
box.
long hitter?
Not necessarily long. I'm definitely not a long hitter. But I must say I'm happy with my drive, my off the tee.
Mm.
And I'm relatively happy with my putting game.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute my approach shot on the green, hey man, I battle there. But you know, so I'll get close to the green. I'm 50 meters off, then I'm not converting as I would like to. So I guess my challenge at the moment I'm battling with is my short game, man. You know,
Mm.
yeah.
No,
When I
but
think about it, hey, yeah.
but let me console you to say that you know what, you're not the only one in that boat. I'm also in that boat, and I've seen a lot of people who actually struggle with the same thing. And you know, I always ask myself one simple question: is it my mindset that plays with me around that 120-meter radius, or is it the fact that I don't practice often? I would love to think that, you know what, I practice, but something happens to me mentally. I don't know if I get excited or what happens. So I want to get it from your side to say, where do you think you are? Is it because you're not putting a lot of effort into it, or do you also get that excitement to say, no, 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 now I'm going on the green for two now?
You know, I'll be on a par 5, nice drive, nice second shot.
Mm.
To land on the green, I'm left with 80 meters. Whoa. I think I just tense up. I think I tense up more than anything, you know. And
Yeah.
I think it's more of a mental game than anything, you know. And recently, I find if I'm just more relaxed and just be more confident in the shot, I get better results. But it's easier said than done, I must confess. But I find when I end up being relaxed and just being confident, the results are much better. But
Yeah.
it's not as easy as I say it. I must say, I still
Mm.
find it a challenge. But I wish I could just. It can be easier to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No. Definitely. Like I said, don't be shy or be embarrassed because we are on the same boat. And I can tell you, from our fan base or our audiences, they practically laughing at themselves as well to say, yeah, what actually happens around the space? Because you don't know if it's nerves, you don't know if you're excited, you just feel funky when you need to convert those shots. And once you're on the green again, something happens again. You start being more tense to say, I don't want to hit this part too much. I don't want to
Yeah.
underhit it.
Yeah. But I've ended up now because my putting it's more reliable. So
Mm,
I get to, which I'm happy to do, even
yeah.
when I'm off the green, as long
Mhm,
the fairway is smooth. I,
mm,
I go to my putt without a flinch. I go to my putter.
yeah.
Of course, within reason, and
Mhm.
that works for me. That works for me because my putting is my savior within the shot. When I'm on the green or just off the green.
No, that's beautiful. At least something is waking up for you there. The 100%. Now, I want to find out if when you have a game coming up, what would you say your normal routine is to prepare for that game? Do you perhaps go and practice the day before, or do you go early to the golf course on that particular day and be like, okay, 1 hour is more than enough? What would you say your routine in preparation for a round of golf looks like for you?
Honestly, if I go play with someone I've played, I mean, a friend I would play regular with or
Mhm.
the family member, I'll just go to the course without practicing. I just pitch up and play. But if I will go to golf day or play with, uh, depending, what type of who I'll be playing with, I must say. I try, I do go a day or two before to the range
Mm,
to hit a few, but the range, hey, it's also misleading. I look like a pro golfer at the range, but it does
yeah.
help in preparation because it's mostly mental when I get to, to do and play. But to be honest with you, most of the time, if I play with a family member, someone I play with, most of the
Mm,
time I just pitch up and putt a few putts before we hit. But I try and be there like 30 minutes before. I just
mhm,
chip and putt before because it's important for me to hit a few before I go to the tee box.
mhm, mhm. Okay, no. I like the fact that you're saying it's a mental thing because if I hit balls properly on the driving range just before a game and everything goes the way that I want, I get hyped up. I gain confidence to another level, and yeah, I do things on the golf course. Sometimes,
Yeah, that helps.
sometimes the things aren't a replication of what happened on the driving range, though. Uh, now, Jimmy, this one will require you to actually apply a bit of thinking, right? So if you could
Okay.
trade if you could trade places with any golfer of your choice, whether past golfers, present golfers, who would it be, and what course would you actually want to play afterwards?
I'm sure you mean a pro golfer.
100%. It can't be me.
Oh, I never thought about that. I don't know. You know, Tony Finau, I think we're interesting to play with him because I like his swing. Because his back swing is short, you know, it doesn't go all the way back.
Yeah.
And I find with my golf, with my back swing, with a short back swing, I'm more consistent, you know. So I admire his swing. I like his swing because it's what I try to do, you know, with my golf, you know, a back swing. To keep it short, because if I go all the way back, my ball goes everywhere.
Yeah, that's
So
where
I'm more
problems start.
consistent with that backswing, and if with my backswing, if my shot, I'm also able to go through the ball. Yeah, so I think Tony Finau, to play with him would be, it will take a big box for me. Which golf course now? Let me see. Let me think. I think Leopard Creek. You know, uh, recently there was a group of us planning to go there last year, but there was a bereavement. We couldn't go. I was looking forward to that. So I think I've never played that course. I've played a lot of courses in South Africa. So I think that one would be, I think South Africa is one of the best courses. So I'm one of those to play play courses in South Africa. Leopard Creek would be one. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Now, I want you to, like I said, I want our this conversation to be interesting, and I want to, I want you to actually be in your imaginative mindset. I want you to be creative. So, if you had an opportunity to design a single hole in a golf course, right? For a particular tournament, I just want to find out, what would that hole look like? Now you have to think about it. Would it be a par 3, par 4, par 5? Would it be a dog leg to the left or to the right? Would there be water hazards? Would there be fairway bunkers? Would you put trees in the middle of the fairway just to make it more challenging? What kind of a hole would you actually design if you had that opportunity?
You know, for me, that would, I'm gonna think I'm gonna think for my game, to be honest with you. And a social golfer, you know, because I think a social golfer and a pro golfer, the course must be made, hole must be made very easy, to make sure that we enjoy our outing. You know, the course must not be difficult. You know, must be memorable. You know, so I have two. Instead of one hole, I think rather make it 2 holes. One one an easier hole, one a bit more difficult hole. The easier hole, make a par 5 with no hazards, just a straight par 5, and make it short, like 460, 440, so players can be able to give them a chance to be there on 2. An easy par 5, you know, at least, you know, as a social golfer, have a chance of getting a birdie without making you know, waiting for a miracle to happen, you know, so that having an easy par 5, and also having a difficult par 3 with a, you know, a long par 3 with 200 meters. Having hit over the water. I think that would be an interesting one for a social golf, because that would be a difficult hole. a long par three, like 200 meters, and you have to hit over the water. I think that will be a difficult hole.
Yeah. Well, you're a very fair person. You're a very reasonable person. You know, whilst you're speaking, I'm busy putting pictures in my head, and I'm like, if it were me, right, that par three, what I would do, yes, I would make it a long par three, maybe let's say 230 to 250 meters. I would put it on an island. It will be an island hole, and it will have bunkers all around it. But I will definitely make sure that the steep of the green it starts going down immediately after the pin. So I want people to feel the challenge and feel the pain, because I feel that a lot of golf courses have abused me, you see, Jimmy. So a bit of abuse to other people would actually make me happy at that point.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Now, my other question here is that, so if at any point in time, right, as a golfer, you had an opportunity to choose a caddy that was a historical figure, who would be your caddy, and what kind of advice would you actually seek from this particular individual?
Would it be a past caddy or not necessarily a caddy? Past, when you say.
Yeah, it can be anyone, president, anyone.
Okay. And what advice would I want from? Your questions are interesting. Let me think. Now. Let me think. Who could I? Oh, no one is coming to mind. But there's a gentleman I got exposed to, and I've actually played with him, Mr. Pio Manyama. He's a past golf director with the Sunshine Tour, and even spent many years as his tournament director overseas as well with all the majors. He's also tournament director with all the four majors. And I think if we were to carry my bag, one thing I would ask him, in fact, maybe even with my my short game, what do I need to do there?
Yeah.
And just listen to him, because I think there I'll need a lot of confidence there, and a different mindset. What mindset will I need at that point of my game? And someone like that who's got experience in the golf, it will be easy for me to trust his advice, easy for me to just take his instructions and not thinking about a lot, in my mind. Just whatever he says, let me just do it,
Yeah.
So I think just getting someone who's experienced in the golf, it will make it easy for me to trust his advice and commit.
100%. No. That definitely makes sense. And I think it would be relatable because he's, like you said, is someone who has been in this industry for quite so long. And if you look at where you are as an individual as well as a business, it also aligns with your growth path as well. So I really like that. I was gonna go for Michael Jackson and ask him, my brother, if you can move your legs like that, if your feet can actually move so smooth, what should I do to this ball on the putting green to make sure that it does the same thing? It looks like magic.
Yeah, that's quite thing outside the box. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy, we only have a few minutes left, but now, like I said, those were intense questions. I just have like 2, 3 questions, very easy, short, right? What's the most unusual thing that you've seen happening on a golf course?
Yeah. Yeah, golf course. You know, I don't. In fact, I can't even say it's unusual. It's become this unusual thing. It's become such a norm now at golf days. You
Mm,
know, where every second hole there's a beverage, and after playing the first 9,
mm,
some golfers are so intoxicated that the second 9 they don't even know where they are. You know,
mm.
so seeing a lot of golfers getting so intoxicated during a round of golf, it's yeah, it's a sight one cannot get used to, but it's such a norm
Mm,
now, especially with golf days, and I find it
mm,
quite amusing. But at least I've also noticed that over the years
mm.
to such events, they're becoming more responsible. They Uber themselves. They know what what they're gonna be out getting up to. But
Yeah.
I just can't. It just amuses me. I know, but I understand, at the 19th hole, but during a
Yeah.
round of golf, yeah. I think some of the social golfers get out of hand. So I find that quite amusing.
But I think it's more about what happened between the first and the ninth hole, because if you're having a great time and things are going according to plan, I believe you'll stay sober for the rest of the 18. But if
Yeah,
after the second hole you are 5 over, I
yeah, yeah,
mm. Eh, and then my
yeah.
last question to you, Jimmy, before we wrap up the show. Uh, if your golf game had a theme song, what would the theme song be?
Hmm. You're asking me things not. Yeah, I'll stretch my mind. I must think, what song now? Oh. Oh. Let me maybe just take that one on while I'm thinking. Let me think.
Mm.
Yeah.
But my go-to song, you know, it will sound strange, but
Mm.
I think it's a winner song. I would go with Jingle Bells. You know, Jingle Bells for Christmas and New Year. Jingle
Yes,
all the way.
yes.
That would be my theme song because it's light, it's very energetic, and if you listen to the lyrics, it says jingle all the way. So from the get-go, from the first hole up till the 18th hole, I'll just be jingling.
Oh, okay,
I'll
okay.
be in happy spirits.
Yeah. No, man, I think that one, you know, the only thing song I'm thinking of
Mm,
is because I've been listening to it a lot at the moment. It's
mm,
a it's a song by Zonke,
mhm.
Chikizinto, something like that.
Yeah.
I find it a bit very relaxing, when I get in the car or I get home. When I play that
Mm,
song, it uplifts my mood,
mhm,
and I just find myself just relaxed. So the mood it puts me in is
mm,
a mood that I need for golf. For golf I get tensed a lot, and
yeah.
take it too serious, and
Mm,
so I think I find when I'm more relaxed and more having a fun approach, I enjoy golf much better. And
mm,
also when I'm relaxed, I even, I play even better, man. I shoot a better score, you know. So I think the mood it puts me in, I would play a song like that. I think if today that would be the song. Yeah.
No, 100%, 100%. And
Yeah, man.
I would like to echo what you're saying. You know, when you're in a good mood, everything seems to fall into place. Even if a shot was meant to be a terrible shot, for some reason it works out. So I think you must have one headset on one ear when you play and play Zonke.
Mm. Oh, I think so.
No, definitely it can work magics for you.
Yes, I think
Mm.
so.
Uh,
Yeah.
Jimmy, like I said, we have reached the end of our segment, but before I let you go, I would like you to share with our audience what's happening, what's next in line for Royal Fairways, any upcoming events that you're busy with, and then lastly, maybe share a bit of wisdom as to how or what needs to happen to actually grow South African golf in townships.
Okay. Okay. No, pleasure, man. I think the first one.
Mhm.
Um, okay, now I'm stuck with the township question now.
You
Sorry,
can
man.
answer it first.
You know, growing the township, uh, golf in the township.
Mm,
Yeah, that one is it's it's a tough one,
mm,
purely because the accessibility of the facilities in
yeah.
townships. You know,
Mhm.
because any sport it grows, experience growth due to accessibility. You know,
Yeah.
so that's why you'll find a lot of young kids, a lot of talent in Soweto.
Mhm.
There's a lot of young kids who take up golf in Soweto because there's a golf course in the township, you know. And I know in Tembisa there's a drive range or a
Mm,
golf facility there. There's also a number of kids there that play golf.
mhm.
So to answer your question, growing golf in the township, I think it's really twofold. If
Mm,
there could be an introduction of drive ranges, just a drive range,
yeah.
you know, because there the investment and come because there's open fields in the townships that can be turned into drive ranges, having more
Mm,
kids there, you know. And
yeah.
also when kids, young kids grow and
Mm,
start playing at other golf courses, there'll always be a facility within close proximity where they can practice without spending a lot of resources
mhm.
traveling. You know, because
Yeah.
you need to spend as much time as possible practicing.
Mm,
That's where even other people, because there's a golf now. I mean, even as adults,
mhm.
there's a lot of uh, workers, people who've retired, who play
Mm,
golf in Soweto or even other townships. Now
yeah.
if they just want to go and practice before they go and play, there needs to be a practice facility.
Mm,
There's a lot of people in townships who play golf who are adults.
yeah.
So it's not just the growth is not just about kids, it's also about adults who want to take up golf, who stay in the township. So I
Yeah.
think the introduction of more practice facilities, drive ranges in townships, that will go a long way. Because having a golf course in a township, I think that will be requires more investment and it's more
Mhm.
of a barrier into the golf. I mean, in golf. So
Yeah.
I think that will be a good way of growing the game in the township.
Mhm.
And
And
the first question,
mhm.
just remind me, Tom.
Uh, so I was just saying, what's in store for Royal Fairways moving forward? Any particular
Yes,
tournaments that you guys are working
yes,
on that
yes.
people can look out for?
Yeah. So I mean, this year that's another exciting year for us. We still uh, involved in those 3 tournaments, but the big change for us now, for the first year, the Limpopo Championship will be moving to end of the year. It's always been the first quarter of the year,
Oh,
end of
yeah.
March, beginning of April, since for the last 6 years. So this year we've scheduled it now in October. And also the PGA Championship is still we're looking forward to the PGA Championship as well. Yes, and the Soweto Golf Cup in September. But the most exciting part is we're working on introducing a ladies Pro-Am event
Oh,
in
lovely.
August. So we're working hard on that now. That will be the first ladies event that we get involved in. We putting that together for August, and we're looking to host it in Limpopo as well. So that will be a new baby that we're putting together. But maybe on another note, man, before we part ways, I think also what's happening within golf, man, in our country. It's there's a good and also the bad, not bad, the challenges. When you want to grow the game, you are bound to introduce challenges because you want to grow what you are doing. So I've noticed that, I mean, with the Sunshine Tour, the last season they've increased the prize money, and I believe there's still a need to increase the pros prize fund, because you need more pros to make a living out of currently you have to end up in the top 20 order of merit, if I'm correct, to make a living out of a golf. So as a pro, that's I believe as minute you are the top 100 players in South Africa should be able to make a living. So at least there's still room to improve the prize fund for pros. And also there needs to be more countries in Africa that host professional tournaments, Besides, I mean, it's only Swaziland, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, and Kenya that I'm aware of. In the sub-central and sub-Sahara. So I think to see the likes of Botswana, Angola, and Namibia hosting pro tournaments, it will definitely open up, grow the event. I mean, grow the game,
The industry.
Because when you see the growth in the professional space, it filters to golf in general, so and I think there's still a room growing the spectators, because as much as the spectators of professional tournaments in South Africa, and the number of golf enthusiasts we have in the country doesn't match. We should see more spectators on the following, attending professional go be spectators at pro events than what we currently have. Besides the Nedbank, other tournaments are battling to see more spectators, whereas we've got a lot, thousands, hundreds and thousands of golf enthusiasts in the country. So I think there's still room to improve there.
100%. 100%. I agree with you there. And I mean, it's even visible here in Gauteng as a whole. I mean, there's so many tournaments, professional tournaments that take place, but when you look at the spectators, it's a very few people, considering that there's so many golf courses with so many golf schools on its own here in Gauteng. Or I don't know where the gap is in terms of people actually following or supporting those tournaments. But like you said, it needs to improve in that aspect, because it will show that it will show potential sponsors as well to say that, you know what, this is where we need to play, let's do what we need to do. And it will also help professional golfers as well, in the sense of being rewarded for the amount of work that they actually put in to what they do. So I concur with you 100% on that one, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, man.
No, 100%. Mr. Headbush, thank you once again for joining us. And I'm sorry again for putting you under the bus with my unorthodox questions. I just wanted to play with you and have fun with you and make sure that we not just talk about serious stuff. You know, talking too much about serious stuff sometimes tends to kill the mood. So I wanted us to have fun and make sure that we are as comfortable as possible, and we get to understand what happens in Jimmy's space as a whole, not just from a businessman point of view, but as an individual, to say, okay, if Jimmy was to get into a golf course and design a certain hole, this is what it's gonna be. If he was to create theme songs to relate to his game, this is what it would sound like. It actually helps people to understand you as well. And for potential stakeholders out there, or anyone that's listening out there, it gives them a clearer picture of who Jimmy is apart from your business.
I know your questions. Yeah. They rattled me there a bit, but
I'm sorry
quite
about that.
entertaining. Different.
Mhm.
Thanks. Yes, it was fun. It was fun, though. It was fun.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. You must have yourself a lovely day, and all the best with everything that you're busy with this year and moving forward. I look forward to seeing that Women's Pro-Am taking place in August. I'm rooting for it, and please continue to do more of those things, because for as much as we say golf is a gentleman's sport, let us make sure that it's also a gentlewoman's sport.
Yes. Agreed. No, thanks very much. Thanks
100%.
for the invite.
Mhm. It's only a pleasure, sir. And thank you once again. You must have yourself a lovely day, and then we will chat when we meet, my leader.
Thank you. Cheers, man.
Thank you, sir. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our session today, and it has been an absolute pleasure chatting to Jimmy Headbush. This individual has set a name in the industry as an events organizer, events planner, and like I said, he's involved in big professional golf events, and he's just keeps on going. As you heard, the man wants to bring the European tour here in Soweto, and I believe it is possible. Let's continue doing what we have to do to grow the sport. Let's go out there. Let's support professional tournaments, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's so strange that a lot of golf days are actually fuller than some of the professional tournaments when we're looking at it from a supporter's point of view. So I would like to urge everyone out there, player, non-player, please, when there is a professional golf event near you, make sure you attend, go and support the sport so that the sport can continue to grow. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you must have yourself a lovely evening. And remember, if you're working tomorrow, do not quote me, because my weekend officially starts tonight. But if you're working on Friday, you are more than welcome to contact me on Balls and Tees. We are available on social media, which is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We are now on YouTube, and you must go check out our latest video on YouTube. You will definitely love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say I really, really appreciate the support. I love you, and let's continue doing what we gotta do.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the large screens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.